The fitness industry has been telling you a lie, so let me explain. A lot of the time, people assume that in order to get in shape, lean, strong, fast, fit, whatever it is, you have to sacrifice everything else in your life in order to achieve that goal. Just like I used to do when I was in my early 20s. I would go to the gym for 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. I would eat out of Tupperware. I would do my cardio. I would do the thing. And I thought I was the bee's knees. I thought I was the best shape possible. I used to go on holiday with the lads and I'd feel amazing. And it was true. And as I transitioned more and more into getting older, into becoming more of a business owner, into my career, and then obviously I started a family, that quickly started to change. And I understand that there's more to just going to the gym for 8 hours a week. You have to have balance, you have a fit family, you have a career. And that's my job in this training, is to walk you through how to master your fitness and your family, find balance, get lean, get strong, get fast, get fit, without having to sacrifice everything. So if you're new here, I'm Lewis. I'm the founder of Tribe Coaching. I've been in the coaching industry for 7 years. This is me and Ben, just completed our second High Rocks. I've just done a third High Rocks with Tor, another guy. This is my beautiful family. So we've got Abby, who's my amazing fiance, and then Riva, our beautiful daughter. So again, I understand exactly what it's like to be a dad, or what it's like to be adulting. And this was me and Sam, one of the coaches at Tribe, with one of our clients, Reese. So I know I've been there. As I said, when I was in my early 20s, I used to be the bodybuilder. I used to be the one who used to eat out of Tupperware. I used to be on the 4,000-5,000 calories to get jacked and to get strong. And as I've now entered my 30s, I understand that that's not sustainable for you guys. People in your 30s, people in your 40s who are trying to get in shape, get lean, just feel better generally, balance things, have a little bit more structure, and be there for the long term. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that into training. Here's a few pictures of what we do at Tribe. As I said, I've done this for over 300, 400 guys. I've helped them get lean, get strong, get fast, get fit, without having to eat out of Tupperware, without having to sacrifice everything, without having to say no things on the weekend, you name it. All that genetic stuff of, like, you know, whey protein and supplementation and all that. Like, I'm going to break it down for you today. So what to expect in this little training is I'm going to walk you through the common mistakes that men are facing, or challenge that men are facing, efficiently training, that's one thing that we need to cover. The hybrid training system or nutrition system, which I have set up and coined myself. Time management, which is a big thing, what I do, and then some takeaways that you can implement straight away. So I've got free resources to give you, and I'll speak about them towards the end of the video. So if you are new here, drop this channel or subscribe, because there will be more content like this in the future. So what are the things that most men face, or the challenges that most men face when they're trying to get in shape or, you know, balance things? And usually it's structure. Usually they have no structure. They're getting pulled from pillar to post with work and career. They've got to come home and bath the baby, and you've got to make tea and do the washing. And the last thing on the list is to go to the gym or leave the family again or go on a run, or the energy through the floor. So they're like, what's the point? Other thing on top of that is the same sort of thing, which is time management. A lot of people are spinning plates. When you get to your 30s, when you get to your 40s, you are constantly spinning more plates. A newsflash, this is not going to slow down probably until you retire. At this point, it's going to be in our 70s. So things only get busier as life goes on. So what you've got to learn to do is you've got to learn to find the balance across these three pillars with family, with fitness, and your career, and also increase your capacity to have more energy to do more things as well. So that's something that we want to be looking into. They're the main two struggles that people struggle with. Again, the big thing on top of that is a little bit of, you know, fear of failure. If you're on this or watching this training, you might have, or most probably have, done some sort of program in the past, and you probably haven't been able to sustain it, because going back to what I said earlier, it was probably 8 weeks long, it was probably 12 weeks long, it was probably get into the trenches and then leave you to it afterwards. There was no longevity to it. There was no habit creation to it. There was no understanding of, you probably didn't resonate with your coach. It was probably someone who lives in Dubai with a six-pack and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So fear of failure is probably something that has stopped you from getting this as well. And then the big one is linking to that is yo-yo dieting, or that on and off switch. You're like, right, I'm going to get to January 1st and I'm going to turn on the burners. I'm going to go for 12 weeks and then that's going to be it. Whereas we know that's probably going to lead to, again, more failure, because you know that it's not going to last. In order to get to where you need to get to, you need to implement these things over the long term to get where you need to go. So This is the 2 cycles that we find ourselves in. I speak to everyone who have a consultation form about these cycles. I'm just going to call them, for simple sake, the negative cycle and the positive cycle. The negative cycle looks something like this. You've got no clarity, i.e. you don't know where you're going. And that's absolutely fine, because I think a lot of people do struggle with setting goals. But you might feel like, I know I want to get leaner, or I know I want to get fitter, I know I want to get stronger, I might want to do my first high rocks or my first half marathon or whatever that looks like. So there's some sort of clarity there, but you don't know how to get there. And I say it all the time, that you can't hit a target that you can't see. So if you can't see it, you're going to find it really difficult to put the steps in place to get there. When you've got no clarity, that leads to no direction and no structure. So you don't know what you're doing, so you try everything as best as you can. You might go really hard for 4 days, and then you might fall off it because you get to the weekend and go, I can't sustain this, what's the point? And then you start again and you repeat that cycle. You're probably nodding your head, because I found a lot of people in the same position, and I was once in that same position as well. From there, obviously, no direction leads to no motivation. Like, what is the point? As I said there, no action. What is the point? So I'm actually not going to do the thing. And obviously, the result of that equals no actual results. So what we want to focus on is the future you, and we're going to reverse that into creating clarity. You need to have a clear roadmap. You need to have a clear direction. One of the quotes that I always say is that you can't hit a target that you can't see. Imagine right now, I'm based in Liverpool. Imagine I was going to Scotland tonight. I've got Waze in my car, or I've got nothing. Waze will tell me how long it's going to take, the roadblocks there, where the police are, where the speed cameras are, the best route, if there's going to be traffic, anything you can think of, that tells me all of it. And that's just like having that clear roadmap. Whereas if I was to wing it, yes, I would get there, maybe a little bit longer. It would probably be a lot more stressful. I'd probably make loads of mistakes. I might even get caught speeding. Whatever it is, you can see a difference from having clarity, structure, direction, to just winging it. So that's what we're trying to create. Obviously, from there, we would then have that structure, because we usually create a plan, draft a plan out, have direction of what are the deliverables, what do we need to do, what are the action steps in order to get there based on your lifestyle. So that might be, I know that I want to go to the gym 3 days a week, I know that I'm going to have this system with my nutrition, which we'll come on to, and that leads to obviously action, and that leads to more motivation, because for the first time, you know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what it looks like. That's where you get your motivation from, not the other way around. And where that comes from there, that leads to results. And then you repeat that cycle. So you got clarity, you've got the structure to do it, you're motivated to do it, you can see things happening, you're getting results, and that gives you more clarity that it's working, and you can repeat that cycle over and over and over again. So that's where we want to try and find ourselves as much as possible. So I'm going to walk you through the hybrid dad framework. So this is something that, again, I've coined, and there's 3 different pillars to it when it comes to it. Number 1, again, nice and simply, we've got our nutrition. Number 2, we've got our lifestyle. And number 3, we've got our training. As said to you, we are not 20 anymore. We haven't got loads and loads of time in the week to train for 2 hours a day, or to cook all of our nutrition, or to do all the things. We've got all these other responsibilities and things that we need to sort of balance in there. So if we look into the training side of things, I recommend to my clients either a GBC program, which is like where you superset upper and lower movements. And these sessions usually last around 40 to 60 minutes. Every single guy that I coach, their session's done within the hour. And I think that's one thing that is massively important, to be like, it's based on what you require. If you've only got 30 minutes, do 30 minutes. If you've only got 45 minutes, do 45 minutes. But you don't need to be spending more than an hour in the gym. And having a program such as a GBC training, which stands for Gym and Body Composition, where again, you might do a squat into a chest press, or a deadlift into a row, where you're supersetting exercises together, you're making it really efficient, you're making it really intense, and you're getting it in and out. It's probably the best thing to do with your training. I'll link a program to that below. Actually, if you just go into the description, you'll find the GBC program, and I'll send that straight to you. Nutrition, I call this one the hybrid nutrition system. So again, fitness industry, you've probably been told to do one or of these 2 things. Meal planner. Be super strict to what you do. Stick to this like glue. Don't deviate off it, and you'll get results. Again, that's one way. Other way, you've probably been told by coaches in the past or whatever to track your food. Whether that's on MyFitnessPal, NutriCheck, you name it, whatever. And both of these have got their pros and cons. There's no right way of doing this, but what the hybrid system does is it merges these two things together. So how? A meal plan is really good because of a few different things. It gives you structure. That's number one. It helps with overwhelm because you don't have to think about the food too much. But the negatives are it's really rigid. It's probably too rigid because what happens when you get home from work, you haven't got the food in the house, the missus wants to have a spag bowl with the kids, and you're like, I can't, it's not on plan. It doesn't make sense. Same when you get to the weekend, you can't enjoy anything with the family, or you can't go out with your friends because you're sticking to this meal planner for how long? And I think that's the question you have to ask yourself. How long can you sustain this for? Probably not going to be more than 12 weeks. Whereas tracking on your hand is a really, really good way of giving you that flexibility, understanding what you're consuming. But again, having too much flexibility is also bad because it'll lead to overwhelm, lack of tracking, you might be confused, etc. But generally having too much freedom is bad, and having too much rigidity is bad as well. So the hybrid training system merges two things together where we create a structure based on your day-to-day. It might be when you eat, it might be certain structures with meals, it might be the 2+1 approach, whatever it is, all these different things. Again, you can find all of these later on in this video, I'll explain it. I mean, merge it with having the flexibility to also track, and if you do go out on a weekend for a meal, how to manage that and what does that look like, and if you're out for work one evening, what's the best option to go for there. So you've got that structure still, but you've also got that flexibility, which works really, really well. And then lifestyle, again, this is the thing that we have to sort of look into, is like time management. As I said to you, like every single person is completely different. Some people can train 6 days a week, some people can train 3 days a week, some people want to run, some people want to lift, some people want to do both. Whatever it is, time management is going to be the thing that really, really matters. Time management and energy management, which is often overlooked. Because as I said to you, like how many times you get into the end of the day and you are absolutely booked. You just want to sit on the couch, you want to do nothing, and when you sit on the couch, you open up the fridge, and that's generally what happens. You've had a busy day at work, you've had stresses to deal with, you've got the family to deal with, you've got other stuff in your mind, so many things going on as an adult, and sometimes energy is zapped, so that's stopping you from getting the ball rolling with things. So with the lifestyle factors, what you want to sort of look into is sleep and stress management. Like they're really, really big ones. Sleep is probably the most important thing before anything else. And the reason for that is it's gonna A, be the driver for productivity, for energy to actually be willing to do it. It's gonna be the thing that drives performance. Whereas if you've ever had no sleep, again, if you've had kids, you'll know exactly what I mean. Your energy is through the floor, your willingness to do stuff go through the floor, your willingness with nutrition is lowered as well. Your training performance is affected. Everything is affected off the back of it. Your stress is higher, your anxiety is higher, so on and so forth. So you want to try and manage that as best as possible. So that's where them 3 pillars come into it. The nutritional hybrid system, the lifestyle factors, and then our training system, which I find would work best for you. These are some of the results that we get. I said I've helped hundreds of men do exactly that. You see the likes of Jay here, looking amazing in his suits, from being out of shape, smoking, etc., to enjoying the races. Tom, father of 2, best shape he's ever been in. Mark, works for Liverpool, dad of 3, best shape we've ever been in. Liam, Mike, Dave, Mark, Ben, Leon, Tom, you name it, we've helped these guys. And then, but that's not all that matters, not just about like how you look. This is the real thing where the results come from, in my opinions. And it's giving the guys the purpose to do more things, to step out of their comfort zone. So you'll see here, like we host momentum days throughout the week. We have run club. We've had people go and do 10Ks, half marathons. We actually took our team to Copenhagen to run the Copenhagen Marathon. High Roxers. There's Mark doing his first ever half marathon. Like I've met up with clients, go and train with them, because that's what it's about. Not only is it about how you look and how you perform, it's also having a purpose like a team sport, which brings me on to this bit, which is what we call our tribe blueprint. And I always centre it around these 3 Ps, and I think it's important to speak about these 3 Ps because it gives you an idea of what we stand for. Performance, progression, and purpose. Performance, in my opinion, you want to have the everyday athlete body. You want to be lean enough, strong enough, fast enough, fit enough, but you're confident in where you are. Doesn't mean that you're absolutely super shredded, but somewhere between 15% and 10% body fat is a good ballpark for most people. What that then does is, it gives you actually the energy and productivity to do the thing, to progress in your career, to spend time with the kids, to run a 10K on a Sunday, to wake up early, whatever it is. And then we also get guys to run their first event. As I said there, if you look here, whether it's a 5K, 10K, half marathon, high rocks, triathlon, because it unlocks new doors. It gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. It makes you be the inspiration for other people. Progression is obviously the big thing. Reviews, measurable data is important. So you want to make sure you're tracking what you can. How am I progressing based on your roadmap? And calls to do with that. We host events for purpose, community, and momentum days. As I said, there's nothing better than bringing people together in the room who all share the same values, who all have the same big goal, and they're where the real changes happen. They're where the real friendships are made, because you probably notice yourself that a lot of your friends, you probably haven't spoken to them for a while, because again, everyone is busy. Not everyone's wanting to do what you want to do, whereas there's something powerful about being around people just like you, who share the same values, who want the same thing, and are looking to get after it as well. So there's nothing better for that. So that's a little bit of an overview of what I would recommend doing to help you balance your fitness and your family and your career. What I've linked in the description below as well is 30 days of 30 tips. It's an email every single day. It's sent out from the moment you sign up, a tip that's going to help you in some capacity, whether it's with your nutrition, whether it's with time management, whether it's with training, whether it's just lifestyle factors. Maybe it's something that I've felt as a dad, or whatever it is. Grab it below, sign up to it. 30 tips of emails in there as well. I'll also send over lots of resources throughout it, like guides, ways to help with your nutrition, just loads of little nuggets that I've accumulated over the last few years. I'm going to give them away to you completely free. So that's the training. If you found it useful, drop this video a like. If you want to chat more about what we do, head to the description. There's a link there as well to head to our website. If you follow me on Instagram, drop me a DM, and I look forward to catching you in the next one.